All right. Let me know if you guys can hear me. And Nura's like, I won. I'm buying three. Going big. Going big. um, oh, wait. Hold on. Now it's making noise. Um, hmm. Why are you doing that? No, don't make too much noise. Why are you doing that? Hold on. Stop. All right. Yeah, your sound was good. My sound was not good. It was I heard like an echo. I was like, wait, what's going on? I must have like a Twitch window up somewhere. All right, so let's go ahead and dive into things today. All right, so in the overnight, oops, hold on. If you guys caught um, the Nadex session, you'll know that again today was basically the day of CPI, and then obviously oil inventory reports. It started off kind of, I don't know, I would say kind of interesting, right? We had the pound coming in just slightly lower, right? 3.1 versus 3.2. Pound is on a little bit of a weakness run, but like not crazy. We're not talking like 190 pips or something like that. Right now, it's kind of leveled out actually, the 26 and the 25. So nothing, like I said, nothing earth shattering, too crazy that we needed to be like, whoa, look for a retracement type thing. It's more of a retracement from the run up that we saw yesterday. And then we had Canadian numbers come in, and again, higher than expected, just by a little bit. It's a shame that 1.8 is there versus the 1.9. Had that been another green and it was solid greens all across the board, I feel like the dollar CAD would have been much stronger today to the downside. So unfortunately, we didn't get that, but whatever. It is what it is. It's still legitimate. It's still there. So we got to watch out for it. And then obviously crude oil today is going to be a big one. With crude oil, um, hold on one sec. With crude oil, I would expect there to be some fireworks today, but not as much as I think there could be. Right? I think there could be a lot more today, but we're not quite there yet. And the reason why I say that is because just with the amount of movement that we've had in the overnight, I just feel that some of it is already going to be baked in. We had a gap to the downside. We've had surplus for 3 weeks in a row. There's nothing justifying it. Obviously, inflation is out there. There's the Paul Tudor Jones comment that probably didn't. I mean, it had nothing to do with the actual gap, but again, it's always good when you see a gap to the downside in oil. Makes you kind of be like, "Yep, there you go. That's what we're looking for." So, gotta love that. Besides that, today, there's not really anything else besides that crude oil inventory. First thing tomorrow morning, there's that Philly Fed manufacturing index and then the unemployment claims. So those will be things we need to watch out for. But I think because it's so far away at this point, I think a lot can happen today. You know, still plenty to happen today with you know different kind of knowledge and things like that. We can comment, not knowledge, but different comments that could be dropped today. I think are um, will still come into play before tomorrow morning. So I don't think there's much we can do with it right now. Um, yeah, it is what it is. All right, so let's dive right over into charts. Just get it started for the day. Let's go over here and we'll update everything. So honestly, didn't really have huge movement last night. You can see that right here around kind of where that news was. It saw a little bit of a pullback, but I wouldn't say it was super explosive, nor was it really in the area for us to be going long. We knew we had a higher time frame zone, and that's kind of where we're sitting right now. Looking at this on the 30-minute, you can see that we did have a decent kind of reach higher, and we're kind of pushing into there now at the open. It's kind of one of those things. It's been basing so much sideways. I wouldn't say there's a lot of really kind of potential in this one right now. I mean, it's up 0.32. Is the dollar going to remain weak the rest of today is really the big question. Is there any dollar, is there any Aussie strength coming in right now? I would say not really. I mean, the only Aussie strength coming in obviously would be coming as a proxy through gold. Is that enough to really propel this higher? I don't know how much higher it's going to have the ability to go to, is kind of what I'm getting at. I just don't feel that it's because it's a proxy and not like the origin of the way you would typically trade this one, I feel like we're kind of getting to the exhaustion stage. And the question I have, and what I'm wondering is really, I mean, at this point, it's kind of, I'd say if anything, it's kind of boiling back down to like, are we looking at like a 10:30 reversal setup today? I mean, it's 9:40, 9:41. We got to, 50 minutes to go. It's kind of pushed up into the upper reaches of that. It hasn't been able to break it yet. We pretty much had dollar weakness for the most part in the overnight. Is this coming in now, and will we see this finally roll to where it needs to? You know, um, yeah. So I mean, that's kind of what I'd be looking for. Um, Mm, yeah, I mean that's all I got on that one. So it's high, again in the grander scheme of things, it's kind of smack in the middle of the intermediary blue zone. I wouldn't really say it's trending. I mean, it's really kind of just been stuck in the sideways channel. So it's one of those ones I don't really love it right here. I mean, we're talking about a 20 pip kind of run back and forth for the last 9 hours. Not really super trendy basic market right now, and there's really no news today to justify any more of a move, especially because gold is already starting to pull back, so it's losing its gold momentum. Okay. um yeah, I don't know. I think there's probably a little bit better opportunity out there. But if anything, I would say if you're looking for a position in the Aussie and you like this one, with all the reversal factors right now, particularly the 10:30 window coming up, I would say probably more of a short, and look for this to run back down, probably back down to the 74.51. Now, Aussie yen, it's already kind of pushed back again. Now, again, it did push a little bit higher. Yesterday, we were sitting right in this level, and you can see it really didn't do much. Got a little bit of a pop last night and went higher, and then kind of put that nice little formation in. So again, you can see it's out of the larger time frame kind of zone what we're looking for. But I do like the way that this top, and actually I'll just steal this one. You just take it up top. I do like the way that this formed here. It's a decent base. It was a drop at base, a drop, and then boom, it exploded out. I typically like the way that that formation occurs. So again, that could be something that, again, for the next 40 minutes, if we push up a little bit, that could be a nice little rollover, taking advantage of the yen today. So let's go ahead and adjust this. Probably go farther back on that one. Actually, let's remove some of this stuff to keep this clean. We don't need all these now. These have all been pushed through. You can tell how often I go to the 4 hour on this thing here. Get this here, this. Those are all gone, so we can remove those. Let's see, pull those out. Those bounced fine. We don't need those anymore. Let's go to a daily on this one. Let's do a horizontal line just to make this easy. Hmm. 2, 3. It's quite a push up top, but we do have a test on it. We'll go ahead and drop those horizontals here. Right. Yeah, we'll throw those out there right now. Not as concerned. I wonder actually, let's see. Can I see that on a 4 hour? Oh, I can. Cool. I didn't think I could. All right, that helps a little bit. All right, so let's put a smaller one here. Here. I'm gonna mark this one, but I don't love this one. Right there. Okay, so that gives us 3 levels on a 4 hour basis. Here. Here. There. Oops, not. Let's turn this red. Here. And there. Drop that down. All right, so that gives us some kind of guidelines on the higher time frames of kind of where we have levels of sellers sitting at. And I would say, kind of the same thinking right now. I mean, again, if we can pull up, actually, let me see if can I just blow this up. No, it's gonna make me go back up. 4 hours. Actually, let's adjust this all the way up. We'll go to the top one. We're going to go to this level right here. There we go. Much better. All right, so that's kind of what we're looking for as far as brackets go. You can see that we do have the 8408 in there, and it was a decent level. But I mean, as far as looking for like big, strong momentum off of it, it's probably the best pop. There was a little base here in this one off of it, but it's like, there's a few small ones in there. But as far as like major turns, unfortunately, it's been quite grindy, and it's probably this is the first. Probably down here is the first major one, but that's so far away right now. I would say look for a small rollover over 85, 83, 8408 would be kind of where we're looking to kind of push it. So, euro pound. All right, so euro pound. This is a position we talked about yesterday, right? We talked about if price is able to come through and break through 84.22. It's not really an area we want to take it long again. Just because, again, we've had 5 touches at this point. It's drove pretty deep in there, so we're just waiting for that break to really kind of push through. You can see there was another run back in the same area that we marked at the 61.8. You can see was also a rollover this morning. Again, not really. I mean, 7:30, right? European session open started right there, right? With that kind of like collapse into it. And it pushed right back up again, and we knew we had basing there. I mean, it was the last kind of start of the move. So, nice little rollover. It probably would have been, at this point, it should have been, it's 1 to 3. It's pretty close. Yeah, 1 to 3 is right there. So, yeah, you were out very fast. But again, 7:30 roll right off that 61 again. Again, kind of the same reason why there's 5 touches here. Probably would not do this on the top side for basically the same exact reason. We've now hit that level 4 times, not including the origin, which if the origin is, from where I drew it, this is really where the origin was. So, I mean, it's really 1, 2, and then you could consider this a 3. We've hit it 4. So I would say at this point, it's getting quite risky if we continue with this further. But the way this is looking, I would say, again, we're seeing kind of pound weakness across the board. I would expect this to come down and probably stabilize itself. Probably pushing into here. The trade is unfortunately done for the morning, so there's not much more we can do with it today. But, again, watch for the breakout the bottom side. I think that's still a valid trade entry, breaking through 84.22. And then, again, if price comes back up again, if you want to stay aggressive with it, you can, or if you can get a confirmation with it. I think these are the 2 levels right now that, I have shorts on the watch list for. Okay. Now, euro pound. So, euro pound, we mentioned yesterday, there's a level there. It's a higher time frame zone. You can see it actually took a bounce off of it, but it wasn't really a trade entry for us because it was only like 20 pips before we ran back into the zone. And you can see that's what it did. It hit it, it came down, it touched it, came back up again, tried to form kind of a decent high. European session tanked it, bounced right off of it, came back up and bounced it again. So again, just not enough room to run. And this is one of those things that depending on your account size, I guess, is probably the best way to say this. Are these the ideal setups? Like, are these things that you want to take, right? One of the parameters when you're setting up your trades is obviously, is there enough room for this to run, right? If there is not, it's typically not something that's tradable. Now, depending on if you're able to take low enough risk, yes, there are ways that you can trade these things, even though they're not moving 90 or 100 pips. Depending on the size of your account, you can position size this to kind of a smaller degree and still take advantage of it, right? Did I say euro pound? Euro pound was the first one. This is euro yen. I don't know. See, the question here's the problem. You have a delay from when you hear it, and then there's a delay of when it types back to me.